Yo, what's poppin', everybody? Today we got some season 32 Mathmech gameplay here. It feels like a pretty standard list. I'm not running a Defensor or Sakitamas or something as additional normal summons or playmakers. Just very simple and concise. We're hoping to find Circular or Parallel Exceed. And we're going to end on the Firewall Dragon Dark Fluid Neo Tempest Terahertz Super Fac, and hopefully some hand traps. Alright, going first, you pretty much win every game anyways, so I'm only going to show off one replay going first, where there was a lot of back and forth, and everything else is going second, breaking boards, showing how to play through them, how to use your hand traps properly, and how to find lethal through the disruption. Enjoy! Alright, so one game of going first here. We're going to assign it mining, of course, and we're going to pitch the Ash. This also lets us beat his Ash, and there's no way he doesn't just max C here because nobody actually expects the Gamma, since there is the restriction here on the transcode talker that says you cannot special summon monsters the turn you activate this effect except Cyberse monsters. However, Gamma does give you the two bodies that transcode would give you back, so if you just combo slightly differently, you can still make your full board even though you resolved Gamma. You just have to keep the transcode for next turn. Alright, so now since we do have the extenders, we're going to make a Heat Soul and an unaffected Terahertz here. Going to send the save worm here for next turn already, set our Super Fac, and hopefully draw into a hand trap. We get a Veiler here. And they're going to lead with Unicorn. I'm just going to Veiler that right off the bat. I don't want them getting Birth or banishing anything here. And we're going to chain the Terahertz to the Haveness. Now the way this works is in this chain, we're sending the Mirrorlogic Aggregator to the graveyard. And they're summoning the Kit Kalos. And since he's the turn player, his Kit Kalos goes on chain first. And now we can trigger the Aggregator on a higher chain link in order to negate the Kit Kalos here. So they still have some extenders. They go for Sheeran. Shows graveyard here. Meta Noise does give them back the tier cache. And they mill a bit more here. Go into Little Knight. And they're going to actually clear my Desave Worm, which is really annoying. So we're going to go ahead and chain this here. Since they set a card, so I'm thinking, oh nice, we get to just out all this stuff. How does it get follow-up, right? We're going to use a negate here. It's use it or lose it. And they lose the call by, which is crazy. But unfortunately, they set the Trigger Karma. So now they get to go into Grief. They get to bring back the kit. Now they get to send this, bring back the Sheeran, mill 5, and we get punished. They do manage to hit 2 Shufflers and the Scream here. That's going to grab them another trap. So they have Sulliak here. Now we're going to go for a draw here. And they're going to negate the no longer negated Terahertz. Now, I think this is a misplay here. We should have definitely held this because we have a chance to make it again later on. All right, we're going to lead with the Sigma to get rid of one of the Shufflers here. I'm going to bring back the Diameter. Unfortunately, it doesn't trigger anything, but we need it to make our Link monster here. We're making the Lingaribo here. Since we can't make the Almirage with it, of course. And now we're using the Crystal Heart to target the transcode. So either it resolves and we just win, or he shuffles it back and then we just remake it here. Now we're not under the circular lock, so we get to attack everything here. We have back the Heat Soul for another draw, and we have the Nib in hand. Circular for next turn as well. And they just surrender here because we have way too much advantage. Alright, here we're going to be showing off some gameplay into some absolutely criminal pile here, leading with Diabellstar pitching the Evenly. And we're going to use the Maxi here to play around the Gamma, but it doesn't resolve anyways. So now we have to watch this entire cutscene of the Snake Eyes combo. So I'm thinking about when I went to Nib here to deal like the most damage, and then I suddenly see them start going for these plays, and then he hits grass. And this is very, very scary. He has a bunch of Mole Crickets engraved. He has all the names you could want for the Horus cards. We know he has the OSS for follow-up next turn. He even hit the Rainbow Bridge, but fortunately for us, he also hit the Garnet for it. He's gonna like start playing here. Gets another draw as well. Arrives a bunch of stuff. And our Nib's live the whole time. And our toggle is off. And here we chain it. Make sure we don't chain it to the search effect of Crimson Dragon, but to the summon effect. And this removes its target. Right there. Gonna send another Horus name here, getting rid of his imperm as disruption, and we're gonna have to see how to play through this. So we do top deck the Ash for his Maxi as his last card, but if we look through his grave, we realize he has a Mole Cricket he can get back here. So we're gonna save our Ash for that, and the crossout doesn't have any other targets anyways, so that's why we're using crossout for the Maxi here. Now circular, of course, just gonna go a bit nuts here. Grab the equation as an extender. Alan Burson coming out. It's going to grab us our normal summon. And of course, they're going to use this. So we just ash it. That's what we kept it for. Diameter gets another body. Alan Burson is going to tribute himself. Now, I could have considered tributing off the Nib to make it into a Cyber, especially back the Mathmech. Probably would have been a slightly better play. But what I wanted to do here works both ways, just otherwise probably a bit better. We're going to make the Laplation here with a negate for one of the Horuses, and then the sends for the King Sark and the other Horus. Activate this, negate it. And now with the equation, we get back another body here. Go into our link decoder. Probably Exceed's going to trigger. And this is just a super duper easy line here to go for an access code OTK line. All right, here we're going to be going second into Kashtira. We have a pretty nice hand. And they're going to lead with the Rise Heart, who's of course going to banish one of our parallel Exceeds. And we're going to Ash the Theosis here. And we get a response. So we know it's not called by or cross out because they would have hit this. We know it's not like an Imperm Veil or something because those all aren't live. So it has to be some quick effect he could have here. So thinking about which quick effect it could be a Scare Cache or a Tier Cache, both of which you could have summoned to extend here at least a little bit further, like make a Shangri, grab a Fenrir or something, right? Anything is better than just passing on this. So I feel confident that he has a Maxi. So my first action here is I'm going to use Small World, get rid of the Droll, and search for an Ash Blossom. And if they chain to the Small World, which they should, right? Because there's always a threat of getting the Ash. You could just get something else entirely and then keep playing off of that. There's probably even a world where you just get your second copy of Droll. And once Circular does his ad or something, you just Droll yourself and hope they haven't drawn anything in the meantime. And you just kill them. So here our Ash comes out. Circular's going to summon out. We had the Sigma in hand. And we do beat a disruption for the OTK line here. Since we still have our normal summon, it's going to feel very threatened here by the Imperm. And now we just go for Splash Mage. And since we got Impermed on our Exceed, it can't tag out for a leveled monster. So we can't actually make the update jammer at any point. So instead, we're going to run through the link decoder here. And that's going to make the Terahertz, who has the effect to send multiplication, which will then double its attack, and we just swing for game here. All right, going second into Snake Eye Fire King, the currently best deck in the format. They lead with an Alcanix here, so we're going to fire off the Droll. Fortunately, it does resolve. Now, this deck still plays fairly well under the Droll. So we're going to have to be careful of this. They're going to make at least the Princess. Then I think they have Arvada in rotation already, right? So that's already quite a few disruptions. And then on their turn, they can keep playing some more. And they have a non-engine. So what are we going to do? Top deck Imperm definitely helps here. Now we're going to Small World for a Ghost Bell as our first action. We already have our starters. And we know if he has a way to out the Princess, we maybe want to negate that. I'm thinking I probably want to negate a Garunix or something that he could potentially pop somehow. I think we know he has Kieran in hand for all his plays. So all of his disruption basically comes from the graveyard. Either the Princess revives itself and pops card, we can negate that, or the Garunix pops the Kieran or whatever, summons itself back. That's definitely what we're gunning for here. That's why we go for the Ghost Spell first. Circular's going to come out here, and they're going to call by this. Not even on effect. I don't know why they just raw dog it like that. But it doesn't matter since we have the extender. We're not going to Ghost Spell this intentionally because we beat it through Engine, which we wouldn't necessarily be able to beat his other disruptions that way. We get to use the Circular here. And here he's going to go and try to bring out the Princess. He's going to chain block it as well. So we're just going to Bell the Garunix here, which would have popped the Kieran. And that Kieran would have given him a pop as well. So we're just going to stop that here. Stop him from getting the names in rotation. The equation is going to give me the body I'm missing here. And Arvada, now it doesn't get to come back because he didn't get to pop a Kieran. And it can't bring itself back, right? So now we're going to just go for Alan Burshin here. And he surrenders because he knows we have a line here to kill him with the Terahertz. All right. A bit more of a rogue pick this time around. We have the classic Cyber's hand here. 3 hand traps, an engine piece, and a brick. We're going to draw him right here because he does have to draw a lot of cards. And unfortunately, he does have the talents to rip our only play here. Now, he can't really do much under the draw. So he can't add anything. So just going to go for a Baguska. We have the Imperm for it, which is amazing if we draw a play. Which, of course, we don't. It's just going to be another Ash Blossom. So it's going to pass back. We have 2 disruptions. Maybe the deck can't kill us there. We'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and add back the Stellar Trees. Turn this into attack position. And now we Ash this. Looks like they don't have any other extenders. And now pretty interesting is they're going to make a second Baguska here, which will also put the first Baguska in defense. Which means that even if I do top deck a starter here, my Imperm won't do anything because even if I negate one of them, the other one is still live and negating everything. But we can play through this as long as there isn't some kind of crazy hand trap here. Pitching the dead card, grabbing the Circular. For the Sigma, notice how we don't use Circular's effect because it's negated anyways. Normal the Ash, and everything from here on out is just a Link monster anyways. So none of these cards get turned to defense, and that's why none of them can be negated. I'm going to climb into the Splash Mage here, bring back the Circular. This makes our update Jammer. Transcode brings that back. And now we have an access code that gets to attack twice. And we have a bunch of attributes in the graveyard. So we're going to go ahead and pop both of his Baguskas. Adding back the Celatrees does not matter here because there is no next turn. And we swing twice for lethal. And for our final replay, we're playing against one of the new decks. It's going to be Ice Barrier here. No clue what these cards do, honestly. So we're just going to go ahead and Veiler this, which never matters to begin with because they do have the call by. So we're going to go ahead and let them resolve their full combo here. See if we can push through this board. We do have a good normal summon. We have our Circular, and we even have an extender. Looks like they're pitching their Imperm in order to extend their plays even further here. And they make a Dragite for a Spell Negate. And they draw 2. Lancey being the most annoying issue here. Parallel Exceed, pretty big. So how do we play this? We're going to go ahead and lead with our Circular, of course. I'm going to use the Diameter. And the way we're chain blocking this is intentionally letting him Ash Blossom in case he has one. So this is very important. We could have chain blocked the Circular by using Diameter on a higher chain link, which means he can't Ash here. It's still in his hand. What else can he Ash in our combo? It's going to be the Parallel Exceed, which is another free body, which is pretty big. And I think that has more value Then the equation we could search, which is also free body, because the equation is never going to resolve ever this game because of the Dragite, right? So we're baiting the Ash here. This does absolutely nothing. Bring this back. Now we go into our Lapulation here for 3 materials because we need to get rid of the General Raiho. Might as well just hand rip him here as well. And we do get that nice negate. Summon the Link Decoder here for the Parallel Exceed. These are going to make the Splash Mage. For the Transcode Talker. Now we make an Axis code here. It's important to notice that you actually can't update Jammer here because the Georges is Dweller. While you control another Ice Bear monster, your opponent cannot activate the effects of monsters in the graveyard. So what we're doing with the Axis code here is we're actually going to use it here to banish the Link Decoder from the field. It hurts a lot, right? We could use like Link Rebo and had this for later. But this is our dark. We need the Splash Mage for later, and we need the Transcode for later. So this is unfortunately the only card we can banish here. But now since our EMZ is free again, we get to bring out the Sigma. The Crystal Heart's going to bring back the Transcode we didn't banish. And now we get to make exact lethal by sending our multiplication. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed. If you watched till the end, leave a like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm. Really helps me out. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.